Welcome. This channel is a raw public journal dedicated to software development mastery. Over the next few months, you'll see me focused on rigorous practice, tackling DSA problems, designing complex systems, and solidifying core CS theory. I'm putting this out there for one reason only, accountability. This is how I train myself to articulate solutions clearly by speaking my thought process out loud. This isn't a guide or a course, it's just an unfiltered record of my progress. Hello, this is day four, and I'll be doing the fourth question in the NEET Code 150. It's called Group Anagrams, and it's a lead code medium. So, given an array of integers, strs, group the anagrams together, you can return the answer in any order. So, eat, tea, and eight are one group, nat and tan are one group, and bat is a single group. We also need to handle cases where inputs are empty strings and oh, so the length of each string is not exceeding 100. All are lowercase English letters. Got it. Uh, so we did an anagrams question like 2, 3 days ago, and like my first instinct is just to sort all these strings and like they'll look the same if after sorting. So nat and tan will both become ant, and like all these will become AET. So that's one way of doing things, and that sounds like a brute force solution, but let me give it a try. So, okay, what do? So for int I equal to 0, int I is less than strs dot size I plus plus. So for each string, we need to sort it. Okay. So like str str in uh, the string in question, like the current string. Okay, let's call it current str, and it will be strs of I. And what I'll do is I'll just sort strs I dot begin, comma strs I dot end, and this will sort this first string to AET, and I think I need to store it somewhere. So let's store it in a map, unordered map of string, comma vector string. Call it scene. Idea is that for each one of these, I'll store them in a map in an empty list and push the original string before I sorted them. And the key will be the uh, like the current sorted version of each one of these. So like I'll be able to access these in O of one time and just uh, like add a vector pushback here. Okay, there needs to be an extra angular bracket. And what that means is that uh, yeah, so I can say scene of stri. So this stri is after sorting, after this sort functions begin and transforms it into an EAT, and we can just uh, do dot push back currstr. So this is the unedited version of that string, and we'll push it back here. And what this will do is that after the iteration is complete, after this is all complete, it will just run it and merge like all the anagrams into values of the same key. So what we can do is we can just extract all the values and mark them as separate groups. So what I'll do is that uh, let's call it an uh, vector of vector of string result, and uh, uh, for itr I in scene auto. Let's make it auto. I don't remember the data type of these. So yeah, and I'll do result dot pushback of uh, I dot second, and then I'll return result. Let's see if this works. Oh, oh, it's going to strs. Ah, that works. Let's try and submit this. Oh, that's perfect. So the time complexity here is uh, O of m into n log n. So m is the number of strings in this list, and n is the length of each string. And we also have a space complexity of O of so for each different group, we'll have one string. So the total space is like we're saving all of these. So I think it is O of m into n, because m is again the number of strings and n is the length of strings. So m strings of length n are being saved. So yeah, and okay, let's copy this and add it to our submission notes here. Perfect. Uh, cool. And is there a better solution without sorting and having like since they're all lowercase English letters, and we last time when we did an anagram question, we used a map of size 26 or an array of size 26 and used that to store the count of each number instead of sorting them and verifying if they're equal. Maybe that can work here as well, but I'm just wondering what's the best way. Okay, so let's say we make a map every time. So we make an unordered map uh, of character comma boolean. Okay, and call it uh, char scene, and we then say that you know for I in uh, str's I, oops, for j in str's j, char scene of j plus plus. This will, okay, not j, j minus I. So this will take an ASCII value of j. This minus will again implicitly typecast uh, the value of this character into its relevant ASCII integer and this too, and the subtraction will basically give us a number like 0 for A, 1 for B. Oh, that's actually not required, right? We can just do this since it's a char bool, and this needs to be an int to uh let's call it char count, and okay, I'll do that. All right, and if the next string also looks the idea is what should be the key here to store these, to group these together? How do I identify? Hmm, how do I identify what character to use? Like what key to use to group them together? There needs to be some character count that helps me identify a common key. And since I'm not sorting them, the leverage I had that all of them will be and can be grouped under a same key is now lost. So maybe sorting is the only answer. Uh, yeah, I think sorted array is the only answer. I wanna verify the solution though. As a hash table, maybe this is the hash table they're talking about. Create keys for groups. Solution one. Sort each character, yeah. And it will be a common. So answer default date. Oh, okay, this is better. So this was it. For each string, we'll save it in a separate thing. Okay, they're sorting the key instead of the original string because this sort of changes the original array. But I think the basic idea is simple, yeah. Scene key dot pushback, and then for the remaining ones, they'll just extract all the values from the key value pair and return it. That works, yeah. M of n log n and O of m n space complexity. So that is correct, but there is also another solution. Okay, why do you use a scanner? Okay. Last index is 25. We subtract 97 from 122. Yeah. So. Or just storing it in an array instead of a map and then comparing these arrays. But won't we need to store the same means that in the same group? Easy, surely. Yeah, int 26. Since it's all lowercase letters, and they store it in an array, and then they say, oh, they're converting it into a string and then using it as a key. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, that's very nice. What's the point of this move? Is it in Python as well? Yeah. Add plus equal to for Python, they're using the tuple as is as a key, which is it saves us the conversion to string part. Hmm, very interesting. Python may can use the entire tuple as a key. So this group being unique is enough. Interesting. Let me try to write it down myself as well. So I think it was a vector of int and char count of size 26. Default values, all of them are 0. And in the ASCII code of each character plus plus to count them. Then based on this, we use this as a key. We use this vector count as so let's say a string key equal to an empty string, And then uh, for j in char count, for int j in char count, key plus equal to string of j, and then we'll use that key and push back str's I into this list, and all this will remain the same, I guess. Let's try and run this. Okay, for char and forward the return type here. Oh, and that worked. Amazing. The time complexity here is this is O of m into n, and since this will always be a constant loop of size 26, so we won't consider this. It's actually O of m into n plus 26, like a loop of 26, but that's a constant, so we can get rid of that. So O of m into n time complexity and O of m into n space complexity, because we're still storing all the results, like all the characters, m strings of n lengths into an unordered vector. Interesting. And let me try submit this. Oops. What? Didn't they say we could return the results in any order? B D D D D D, comma, what? That makes no sense. Let's try and run it once. What? Oh, these should have been separate lists, but my code joins them in. How is that possible? Yeah, key and then hmm? So 1B and then oh, this is not correct. Oh no, I see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there were smart edge case. So A's are 0, B is 1 in one case and 10 in another case. And then here C is 0 and D is 10. And that's why the strings matched up. So okay, we can probably just add a space here. Oh, that's why they had a hash in between. That's why they had a hash in between. Interesting. Yeah, the hash only rule. Amazing. Wow. Nice. This was pretty good. I think I missed this part in this question, and I didn't know that we could use tuples as is uh, for a key in Python, like in a map. So interesting. Very nice. Great question. Loved it. Thank you.